So there's this video going around about this kid who's talking about homosexuality, why he believes it's wrong, why he believes it's destroying the moral fabric of our country, and any number of other things that he believes in. I'm going to be responding to it. It's going to be a semi-laid-back response. I'm not going to go through the effort of saving his video and playing clips of it back-to-back with mine. You can just watch it for yourself if you really care. I'm going to be responding to it, though, because I just think that it's really important that somebody talks about this. I know other people are talking about it. It's getting a ton of negative attention, but I just want to make a video expressing what I personally think about it. Because it surprises me how many people actually agree with this type of thought. And I just think it's something important that needs to be put out there, officially. The main point that this guy pushes is how homosexuality is apparently unnatural. But I have to ask, what does unnatural mean exactly? In my mind, for something to be unnatural means that it's something that doesn't normally happen within human beings. It's not something that's regular. An example of this could be being sociopathic, being incapable of expressing empathy or emotions towards others. Could that be considered unnatural? In this sense, I suppose it could. Does it apply to homosexuality? Well, first off, there's no reason to believe that homosexuality in this sense is unnatural. Scientists have several hypotheses asking what potential benefits to our species homosexuality may have. There's no reason to assume that it's just some random thing that has no benefit at all. But even going beyond that, let's say that it was, in a sense, unnatural. Does that make it bad? Not really, no. If you look back at the example of being a sociopath, and you call that unnatural, we wouldn't consider it bad because it is unnatural. We would consider it bad because it has concrete negative effects on other people. For example, if you are incapable of expressing emotion, you may be more likely to hurt others. And that's a problem for society. That's a problem that could potentially affect other people. What negative effect does homosexuality have on other people? None really. None really. So even if you do assume that homosexuality in this sense is unnatural, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a negative thing. I don't understand why it's a bad thing or something that's problematic that we need to worry about. Another major point that this guy pushes is how homosexuality is a choice. I've never seen anybody push this point as hard as this guy does. I like that, pushing a point. He pushes it in really hard. It's funny because it's a gay joke and he's a homophobe. But he's very adamant about the idea that homosexuality is a choice. The thing is, it's not a choice. But even so, I have to ask, why is that relevant? This is just a little something that bugs me about the way that people who argue for gay rights think. They say it's not a choice, it's the way that we were born. We were born this way. I know that's probably a bit of an exaggeration, but I have a problem with that mentality. In my mind, this focuses the whole gay rights argument on the idea of choice. And the fact of the matter is, there kind of is choice here. Not necessarily for who you feel sexual attraction towards, but how you react with other people. For example, marriage. There can be this girl who I think is ugly as a stick. I feel zero sexual attraction towards her. Yet I can find her personality beautiful. I can find her to be an amazing person, and I can still marry her, even though there is zero sexual attraction. In that same sense, a homosexual can get married to someone of the opposite sex, even if they feel zero sexual attraction towards them. In that sense, they have a choice. Also in this sense, anybody who is bisexual, pansexual, or has any other thing where they can feel sexual attraction for people of more than one gender, you could argue that they should choose to be in the heterosexual group because they have the choice. If they were homosexuals and they didn't have the choice, that would be different, but they have the choice, so they should go with it. I know that people don't promote that idea who are promoting gay rights. I know they don't intend to promote that, but that's the image that comes across my head when I hear that, and I feel that argument being opened up. I do not believe that homosexuality is a choice, but in my mind that's not what the argument should be based around, because that opens up a lot of bullshit for people to pull. Like, for example, these de-homosexual camps where people are trained to be straight. Like, hey, we'll make them want it, we'll change them. That defeats the purpose, in my opinion. People should be able to do what they want with other people that they want to do it with, so long as they are all consensual. It's not about you're stuck doing this because that's just the way you are. It's the fact that we have the freedom to engage in whatever activities we want to with each other. Even if homosexuality was a choice, I don't think that this argument has any value at all. If people want to get married to somebody of the same sex, they should be able to. You should be able to get married to whoever you want. You should be able to do whatever you want with whoever you choose to do it with, so long as they consent. That's the point. Another idea this guy's expressing is how people who support gay rights are suppressing his ability to freely express his religious beliefs, because he feels that his religious beliefs of Christianity say that homosexuality is wrong, evil, and immoral, and that therefore he has the ability to express that freely. First off, I'm all for the rights of people to express whatever they want to. If you have a belief, like a personal religious belief, and you want to share that with people or have an open discussion about it, that's fine. The only thing is, we live in a world, or at least a culture, that favors Christianity over other religions. I have a feeling that if some Muslim went up to this guy and said, "Hey, you're eating hamburgers. That's against my moral code. You better stop that now, because if you don't, you're going to go to hell. And you're breaking my moral code. You're doing horrible things, and you're going to go to hell if you don't stop that." I'm sure he wouldn't like that. However, that's not sharing the ideas of your religion. In my idea, sharing your religion or preaching your religion involves saying the good aspects of it and what it can add to their lives, not saying there's something in my moral code that says that you are wrong and evil. What these people are doing is not freedom of expression of religion. What they are doing is using their religion as an excuse to promote their bigotry. Not only are they being dishonest and lying, and they're trying to put these homosexuals, who are a group that are already greatly oppressed, and make them seem like the bad guys. They're also insulting members of the religion, say Christianity or Islam, who are intelligent and empathetic enough to understand that it's not right to criticize and hate these people who are different from us, and who accept them as equals. That's not a part of your religion. That's just a part of your personal bigoted beliefs. And expressing as such is not you expressing and sharing your religion. I guess this is the note that I want to end on. Freedom does not mean you do whatever you want. Freedom means you can do what you want with whoever you want to, so long as it's all consensual, so long as everybody involved says it's okay. For you to follow someone and tell them that what they're doing is against your moral code, and therefore your bigotry against them is justified, is not freedom. If they're telling you to go away and you won't, that is harassment. Just because you don't like these people and you disagree with the way that they live their lives and who they are as individuals, does not give you the right to take the moral high ground, tell them that they as individuals are not as worthy as you are, and does not make you better than them in any way. And telling them as such is not freedom. It's just you expressing your hatred under the guise of freedom. And nobody's buying it. At least nobody with any intellectual worth at all.